So today we're going to make giant bubbles, and I'm going to use this book that I love called How to Make Monstrous, Huge, Unbelievably Big Bubbles. And it's by David Stein, and he invented the bubble thing. So in this book, David has a recipe for bubble juice, and this is his recipe, but this makes a really big amount of bubble juice. And I decided I wanted to make less bubble juice, so I did some arithmetic. I'm going to cut this recipe into 1/4 of its size. So instead of using 12 cups of water, I'm going to divide 12 by 4, and I'm going to use 3 cups of water. And instead of using a cup of dish soap, I'm going to divide that by 4 and use 1/4 of a cup of dish soap. And instead of using a cup of cornstarch, I'm going to divide that by 4, and guess what? That's going to be 1/4 of a cup. And instead of 2 tablespoons of baking powder, I'm going to use 1/2 of a tablespoon of baking powder. You ready? Okay, so I've already measured 3 cups of water, and I'm going to pour them into this bowl. And then I've already measured 1/4 of a cup of dishwashing detergent, and I'm going to pour that into the bowl. And I've already measured 1/4 of a cup of cornstarch, and I'm going to pour that into the bowl. Cornstarch flies around. And I've already measured 1/2 of a tablespoon of baking powder. And I'm going to put that in the bowl. And then it's time to mix up the bubble juice. And once we get the bubble juice mixed up, we're going to go outside and see what happens. So this is the amazing bubble thing. And there goes one of the amazing bubbles. So this is basically I've noticed that children love to pop the bubbles as much as adults love to look at them. So there's something for everybody here. So let's say you don't have the amazing bubble thing in your house. I tried a few other things that you might have. And one of them, this is the top of a plastic lid that I cut out, and if I put it in the bubble juice, I can make a bubble. Like that. Woo! Okay, so that's just a plastic lid for a plastic container that most people might have in their house. This is another thing. This is 2 shoelaces that I tied together, and I dip them in my bubble juice, and I take them out, and every once in a while I can get a bubble out. There we go. Come on, you want a bubble. There we go. Whoop. There we go. A bubble. Pop. So this is just 2 long shoelaces. There's another bubble, 2 bubbles. And I just dip them in the bubble juice, and they make great bubbles. Here's 2, these are also shoelaces, a different kind, a little shorter. We'll probably make a shorter bubble, a smaller bubble. Woo! Try it again. Here we go. Ha! And another thing, you know when you buy a 6-pack and they have those rings around them, those plastic rings? This is like that. Those plastic rings are pretty cool. You can use one of them or you can use 6 of them all at once. And sometimes you can get bubbles out of them too. So there we are, making bubbles. Making giant bubbles, weird bubbles. And I hope you have a lot of fun making bubble juice and making bubbles and popping them. Whoa! Pop! That's the best one ever. Okay, have fun. I hope to see you again soon. It's Sheila Kerrigan, the mime who talks, saying bye-bye.